quote from animator Anna Peronetto.
The animations for the titles were done last, after the episode edits were mostly finalized and the main animations done. Coming up with these was usually quite intuitive. They were usually based on what happens during the cold open or in the episode. For example, for Love, we just saw the I love you bubble-like text, so it's only natural to use a similar visual language in the title card.
This episode is based on Heartstopper Chapter 5, Love, found in Volume 4 of the graphic novels. The rest of the season covers Volume 4, This Winter novella, the Ethics of Infatuation Dynamics mini-comic, and Volume 5 of the series. Season 3 has a new director, Andy Newbery.
I mean, it was really exciting to bring someone new onto the core team in Heartstopper. Andy Newbery, our new director, we really loved him. We felt like he had a really natural Heartstopper energy about him. It was really important to us when we were looking for a director to find someone who we felt would understand Heartstopper and would love the story and respect the story as much as we all did. And so it felt almost easy, I think, working with him. He very much felt like part of the team from day one. And I absolutely love the work that he did. I think the show looks incredible, and the scenes are really beautiful. So yeah, very, very happy.
Heartstopper Season 3 director Andy Newbery. And Andy, you took over, didn't you, from Welsh director Euros Lyn for Series 3. Has that been a bit of a pressure?
No, not a pressure at all. It's actually been really, really lovely. It's weirdly for me, it's kind of been a bit of a full circle moment doing this with Euros, because I first met Euros maybe about 15 years ago when I was a runner on Doctor Who, and he was a director, and I remember plugging him for information about how to get into directing and stuff. So the fact that I'm here now, able to sort of pick up the reins on Series 3 from a show that he's established so beautifully, is for me is a real special thing. But yeah, you know, the whole team have been incredibly welcoming, and also really supportive of kind of what I wanted to do with the series. The content is different this year, and I kind of wanted to make sure that the show had its own identity and does feel like it's kind of growing up and maturing with the characters and with the story.
Thinking more about like the crew, thinking about like when we were considering directors, and in season 3 we had a new director, finding people who just get it and like understand the story and understand the tone of the story, the sort of gentleness and the sincerity of what Heartstopper is. I think we've found a lot of people in the crew who really love that and really respect that, and that's really important in everyone feeling united in what the vision is for Heartstopper.
Because we film it in a very depressing place in just outside of London called Burnham, and the school is so run down.
Is there any asbestos?
There is so much asbestos. There's no plumbing. It is truly horrific, but it is lightened by our beautiful cast and crew who are there with full passion. But yeah, it takes love for the story to, yeah.
Well, this season we had a new director for the first time. The first 2 seasons were directed by Euros Lyn, and this season we had a new director called Andy Newbery, and he was a pleasure to work with, and brought a kind of new angle to the show, and although he had some big shoes to fill, from Euros, I think he really rose to the occasion, and yeah, it was really enjoyable shoot.
It's like in season 3 as well, it was nice because we got a new director, and I've never experienced working with like someone who was an Euros on Heartstopper, so it was nice to have him allow us to just bring our characters out, because he said it best, Andy, he was amazing. He was like, you guys have had 2 years with these characters already, so I know that you know them, and I trust, and I can see you bringing them out. So yeah, it was not as scary as I initially thought it was going to be, and Tara just, yeah, she's in there, so she comes out straight away as soon as I put that uniform back on.
There's so much left to say.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
I didn't contribute much to the set design this season, to be honest. I did have a very small hand in Tori's bedroom and suggested which items would be on display on the walls and dresser, etc., but that's pretty much it as far as I can remember.
Charlie's card to Tori from Paris also featured on the back cover of Volume 3. Books on Tori's shelf. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Tori has to read this for school in solitaire and hates it. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. A Room of One's Own, 3 Guineas by Virginia Woolf. Credit to Isaac Book Club on Tumblr for identifying these.
They do say love is blind.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
We all decided we liked that starting with Tori was something unknown. Tori has a much bigger role in this season, particularly related to Charlie's mental health journey. Tori is really affected by that because she cares about him so much. I think it was more of a feeling than a smart story decision, a nod to Tori as the original character in this universe, a way to show that she'll have a bigger role this season, a way to give viewers a little surprise at the start of episode 1. I sometimes wonder whether it was quite the right story decision. It probably would have made more logistical sense to start with Charlie, and we did actually try that in the edit, but I think my love for Tori won in that conversation, and I'm glad it did, because I think it's such a fun and sweet opening, and it acknowledges so much of the history of my works that has led to the stories that are explored in Season 3.
That's the way things go.
Out of all of my characters, Tori Spring is kind of my number one, I think, just because she is my first ever protagonist, and she is like, I truly see her as like the god of the universe. Like everything has come from her, and so she is probably my favourite. But obviously Nick and Charlie are up there as two of my favourite characters of all time, otherwise I wouldn't still be writing about them 10 years later. But yeah, I love them all though, I promise.
Nick, I have something to tell you. I love you.
One of the things that I really love about Heartstopper, and that I loved even before working on it, was that way it just kind of so beautifully captures that feeling of sort of first love and that sort of teenage feelings that you get around that age. You know, it kind of totally took me back to that point in my life as well.
I'm in love with you, and I just wanted you to know. And you don't have to say it back yet, but I hope you do.
In the comic, Tori gets her hair cut impulsively, as we learn in Solitaire, while Charlie is at the beach. They changed this in the show for purely logistical reasons. Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
So the thing about in-story haircuts in TV, they are a production nightmare. The show was filmed completely non-chronologically, so if Tori had long hair at the start, that would be a huge amount of extra work for the hair and makeup department. It takes at least an hour to get an actor in or out of a wig. It just makes things very difficult, and we always have an extremely hectic and tight schedule. So we decided it'd be easier for her to just have short hair from the start.
I think it's quite important that she starts with the long hair and then makes that decision to chop it all off. It's quite a sort of, it is an event in the books, I'd say.
Because I'm properly in love with you.
We're already starting the storyline of Charlie's body image issues by showing that Tori was struggling with the summer heat earlier, and now we see Charlie in a cardigan about to go to the beach. When photos from the beach filming days surfaced online, people had lots of opinions about that cardigan.
Yeah, I mean, season 1, Joe was very interlinked to Charlie's fashion sense. He wore a lot of the same stuff. I think I've diverged a bit now as I've grown up and maybe Charlie hasn't, but I still have a cardigan, but I'm not sure I necessarily would pick this cardigan for myself, but it works for Charlie. I think also with this, they were trying to emulate a look from the comic. Not really an outfit I'd pick for myself. I wouldn't ever personally wear a blue t-shirt and neon orange shorts, but Charlie would.
Charlie didn't actually have a cardigan at the beach in the comic. Alice created the t-shirt comic Charlie was wearing as part of the 2025 Heartstopper Pride charity merch collaboration with Eco Kayla.
And I want you to feel the same way too eventually. I wanted to say it because I'm properly in love with you, and you don't have to say it back, and I forgot my line and I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry. Stop spying on me.
Stop declaring your love so loudly then. I'm shocked you haven't said it already.
From what you guys learned from Charlie and Nick, do you guys think there's a right moment to say I love you? And if we take too long sometimes to say it?
I think it depends on the person. I think it's a very individual thing. So I don't know. I couldn't say.
I don't think it's possible to take too long or too short a time. I think it's just like you got to follow your gut and you gotta embrace. You know, if you're not ready to say it, that's okay. I mean, we take a long time to say it in the show.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, to finally kind of address that in season 3 is yeah, it's kind of crazy to think, but yeah, still not too long.
Well, it's not that easy, and it's probably too soon anyway.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
We know by the end of season 2 that Nick and Charlie love each other. But when you're a teenager, I think saying the words "I love you" holds so much weight. It's a big declaration of commitment to someone. This isn't just a teenage romance anymore. This is a real relationship.
I don't want him to have to say the awkward "I love you" too because he feels obligated to.
You don't think he feels the same? He's literally obsessed with you.
Quote from Kit Connor.
Nick is also very ready to say "I love you." I just don't think it's really crossing his mind quite as much at the beginning of season 3 because he is very concerned for Charlie. He feels like Charlie's holding something back from him, and that is a worry for Nick.
Oh.
Quote from Joe Locke.
This is a big step for Charlie. In season 1 and 2, we see Charlie is quite shy. He's quite quiet and not very confident. So for him to feel like he's met someone he can say "I love you" to, and think they might be able to say it back, is huge for him.
Well, we're going to the beach today, and then he's on holiday for 3 weeks, so...
So tell him today.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, with all the highs and hays stuff, like we were making jokes about that when we were shooting season 1.
Oh, really?
You know, I think we were all kind of like, we all love the show and all like see a lot of beauty in it, but we also, I think we're all able to laugh at ourselves and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. So we were, you know, making those jokes ourselves.
What?
Quote from animator Anna Perinetto.
We kick off the first episode with the most adorable animation, and you'll be surprised to know this super cute bubble-like text was not in the plans. It was not part of the initial list of Heartstopper moments from the script, and we added it upon reviewing the episode to add some anticipation to the "I love you" moment at the end of episode 1. This is the reason why this post doesn't include the storyboard. I was lucky enough to be doing the storyboards again for this season, so I'll include them in future posts. Now, for those of you with an observant eye, good memory, and a love for pink bubbly text, you might remember it from previous seasons. Does it ring any bells?
Never seen you in a vest before.
The original line in the comic was changed here from tank top to vest. Alice was asked on Tumblr why she changed it. Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
Because I thought about someone actually saying the phrase tank top with a British accent, and it sounded so weird and awkward in my mind, vest was the more realistic word, at least for people from my region of England. Sometimes things that are written in the comic would actually sound quite awkward and odd if the cast said them out loud, so I changed them.
Well, I've never seen you in a cap before.
It's one of those moments that's it's in the script anyway, but it's lifted straight from the books. So there's certain moments where you think that's something we should try and recreate in some way, and I think it's there in the drawings. There's Nick showing up in a vest. You've got Charlie in the cap, so you kind of have that starting point anyway.
And that does help.
And then with the whole thing with that first episode, it was kind of like to do a sort of like brighter and almost younger look for everybody at the beginning, because we know from the scripts the journey that we're going to go through with everybody, and how they're going to grow up throughout those 8 episodes. So kind of, I think that first episode, the way they're all styled a bit, is kind of a bit of a departure to kind of like the brighter, younger looks we saw in previous seasons.
Should we go?
Yeah.
Due to Oliver's absence in the show, we missed out on his best moment of almost spilling the beans about Charlie's love confession here.
So, dinner at mine tonight?
Haven't we had pizza at yours like 4 times in the past week?
Not pizza. I'm gonna cook us a candlelit dinner.
With what cooking skills?
With the power of romance! With the power of romance! Ah! Oh.
The beach scenes were filmed in Monmouth Beach in Lyme Regis, a coastal town in West Dorset, on October 2nd to October 4th, 2023. It was about 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit, so not as cold as it could have been. Still very cold for a beach day, to be fair. I also wrote in my script that I wrote that part in there on October 3rd, 2023, just so you know how long I spent working on these things, lol.
Come on, Slowcoach! At least try this time!
Oh, episode 1 is lovely. I actually really like episode 1.
Oh yeah, I think for me it's episode 1 because there's lots of fun things in that, but I don't want to spoil it.
A lot goes on, yeah.
Okay. It starts with a bang. Yeah.
And it's so strange seeing it back in like, it was so many days of filming and seeing it all, like, all of my favourite moments compressed into one episode. It's so nice.
And you're like, woo!
And like, so much happened.
Tara! Can't you let me win one time? No, I'm faster. I need the win. I got kicked out of my house.
There's our confirmation that Darcy was in fact kicked out in that argument scene last season and didn't decide to leave on their own. There was some ambiguity there because of the muffled audio, so it was a bit up for interpretation before.
She jokes when she gets uncomfortable and like feels like she has to fill space. I don't think she's very good at sitting with a feeling. You know, she needs to be distracted. She doesn't want to think about the problem a lot of the time. So I think it's quite natural to me that she jokes when she feels insecure or nervous. I think, yeah, it's just filling space and filling the air.
Well, last night you hogged the duvet, so...
Funny how in the comic when Tara and Darcy discussed a hypothetical reality where Darcy would move in with Tara, Tara said her mum wouldn't let them share a room, but here they are.
And my mum almost walked in on us again, so you owe me.
Living with you is like a dream.
Quote from Corina Brown when asked about representing black queerness.
Honestly, it's an honor. It's one of the things that I've maybe not always known was a passion of mine, and what I wanted to strive for with the work that I produce. But yeah, representation matters. I don't think I would be here doing this job if I didn't see someone who looked like me telling stories that I relate to. So to be able to do that for the black queer community is just everything. I wouldn't want anything else or want it any other way, and I want to do that forever and ever. It's an honor, and I'm glad I've been given the opportunity to do that.
Heads up! Darcy! Darcy's more of a Leo than I am. I'm a Leo.
Okay,
And
well,
I think Darcy's a Leo.
Darcy's canonical birthday is January 9th, which would make them a Capricorn.
you do give Leo energy. I see that.
Arrogant and spoiled.
I went for leadership, so mine was a compliment.
Fair warning at this point that I have an absolutely ridiculous amount of footage and pictures of them filming on the beach. It was madness. There were articles and paparazzi and all manner of gawkers with cameras, and for the first time ever, I'm not even including everything I have. I thought Paris was mad. This is a whole other level. This is why for this video I'll be diverging from my usual format, and instead of inserting everything into chronological order, I'll have a segment in the end for more footage if you still want to see all of it, just to avoid everyone clicking off the video due to the massive amount of beach video and pictures in the middle of everything. There's still so much.
Favorite moment? A favorite moment, I would say, would be, yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun in that first week in Lyme Regis. We, again, were kind of all staying in this little hotel, and would have dinner every night and try and go and have fun, and while we still had the energy. In the tiniest town ever.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah, and we would just, yeah, go out and enjoy ourselves and sort of be silly and have fun. So that was probably a highlight for me.
Same.
And it all just went downhill.
Yeah, I think by the end of the shoot everyone's so tired but we still managed to find fun and enjoyment with each other.
Episode 1 we actually filmed in our first week of shooting last year when we started. That was our first week, and it was really lovely. I remember because we had all just started back together, and it was like the first shoot day last year. I'm sure production do that on purpose to get us into the groove of things, but it was nice because all of our first scenes were all together, and I remember that it was freezing cold because it was like October, so it was like this time last year, and we were filming in the sea and it was freezing, but you know, I'm still grateful and still happy to be part of the show. But yeah, I remember it was freezing, and I remember it was really nice. It felt like a homecoming in a way.
I mean, we were just talking about the first week of shooting with Lyme Regis, which is with all the beach stuff in the first episode, and that was very fun because we were all sort of, you know, back to it and hadn't done it in a while.
It was like first week at school, but
yeah, it was great. There's one TikTok that I think Rhea made.
Oh yeah,
where we were all using that sort of hi Barbie, hey Ken sound. I feel like encapsulates kind of the energy that we had in that first week.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That TikTok was never posted or I would have seen it. When the cast do TikToks in costume, they sometimes do post them a year later when the show comes out, but the trends and sounds are outdated by then, so I'm not surprised if they no longer feel like posting them at that point.
Okay, let's cut there. Cut there.
Yeah, I am very involved in choosing the books. Whenever there's a book on
I notice
screen,
your books make a lot of appearances, which beg a lot of questions about the logic of...
They do. Yeah, I mean, firstly, there's obviously Isaac's books are such a big part of that, and each season I do a full list of in what scene is Isaac going to be reading what book, and I try and make it link in some way to what's going on in the story. Most of the time that works out. And yeah, if there's ever any other books that are very visible on screen, usually I get consulted about it. I always find it sort of happens last minute when I'm on set. Someone in the art department will come up to me and be like, what book are we using in this scene that we're filming
really
in 5
stressful.
minutes? It is really stressful.
Because they don't get it's the clearances.
The clearances,
You never know when they're going to come through, so sometimes it's like...
Yeah, because you have to contact the publisher and like get permission to use it on screen. which is very difficult for some reason. So it's very complicated for everyone involved. Yeah.
But you got permission for Mario Kart, which is crazy to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't follow any logic. The clearances. It's the bane of my life, honestly.
Well, I did tell you not to bring all of that. I'm bringing the fun.
Quote from hair and makeup artist Erin Cahill.
Now, fun fact about this one, Layla has so much hair. In order to get that ponytail to 1, stay in place, and 2, be so tight, I had to tie half her hair up in one band and then tie the second half up in another and disguise both bands by wrapping a piece of hair around it all. Disclaimer, Layla isn't miserable. It was 5 a.m. She loves me, really.
So in the morning, I would get into the chair with my makeup artist, Erin. You can actually, when the season comes out, she'll probably put little time lapses of like her doing my face and hair. But depending on the day, like then would depend on the look. So I'd be in the chair for like an hour, and I usually read a book because me and Chris would be sit next to each other in the makeup room, and we're a ball of energy as it is, and no one needs that at like 5:30 in the morning. She would be over like there, as she herself, with her headphones in or doing whatever she's doing, and I'd have to read a book because we'd be too loud. And me and Karina run on literally fumes. No one else, everyone else is probably running on coffee, and they're like, don't need us. So yeah, I'd read let Erin do my face and hair, which is probably my favorite part of the day because I'm just chilling, like reading the script ahead of the day, figuring out what the plan is.
Yeah, you can just imagine them two at home and Sahar going, no, we're not bringing all this. I'm warning you now, like, I'm not carrying it for you. And then Imogen with her stubborn head going, right, well, I'll do it myself. Which you have to respect in a way, but you carrying all the stuff and dropping balls and stuff. And Sahar's like, they're both very ball-headed, I think. They're both very, have their own way or like fixed in their ideas. So I was like, I'm not doing it. And then Imogen's like, well, I will. And then you can just see the clashing. Yeah, it's great. It was so fun to riff off Rhea in those moments because those parts aren't always scripted. So we just get to have fun and play around. Yeah, so we were staying in Lyme Regis for the first week of shooting, and we thought, you know, it's all right because I think it's quite, there's not many young people in the town. We all had this kind of, I definitely did. I won't speak for anyone else, but I definitely had this idea that, you know, it's probably just maybe retired people living their life at the sea and quite a small area. No one's going to know. And then obviously first day of shooting, everyone and their grandma was there. But you know, at first in season 2 that was quite overwhelming because we had a lot of that in Paris and it was my first professional job and I was like, okay, this is a bit overwhelming and it can be quite distracting at times, but you know, you kind of realize that okay, just get on with your job because you know it is a job and you just crack on and you do the work. And actually it's quite nice to have the fans. They're all usually quite respectful and they just stand there and they just watch quietly. So it's nice to have that kind of support as well from people while you're making it because you can see their live and direct how loved the show is, and so you just want to do it justice. Yeah.
The Paris squad is back together!
Oh, I've got a pair of I think for me as a costume team, it's about 6 weeks prep before we start filming. So on every job,
not very long to me.
no, it's not really very long, but on every job ever, no one's ever ready, and you always need another week. But at some point, you have to start, and you have to start when the shooting schedule says you're starting. So
wow,
you just have to be ready, really. But I think there's not a point where it's all ready. You just have to focus on week one. So our first week of filming was the beach. So like early on in the prep, like that was kind of got to get that ready. But then you know kind of what's coming up when you get back from that part of filming, and you sort of have an eye on week 3, a little bit of an eye on week 4, but you're kind of, you know, at that point you've got the outfits signed off. And like I said, having that WhatsApp group with Alice and Patrick, it's really great. And Andy, to just see the outfits, and you kind of know that they're happy. They'll let you know, oh, we love everything, or could we change this?
Right.
And Alice is really good as well. And Patrick, we get, I have rails and rails outside the costume room of the different like ensembles lined up, like I said, the zoo, the New Year's Eve party. So it's so fantastic having them on set that you can say, could you come? If you've got 5 minutes, just come and look through with me, and we'll talk through the outfits. And so I kind of know before you get to that next bit of filming that we've got that lineup and we're all kind of happy with it.
And how long is the actual filming of season 3? How long did that take?
I think it's about like 11, 12 weeks or something. I can never quite remember because
months. Like for instance, The Last of Us was like almost a year.
Once you start, it's kind of
Adam, for example, is our costume designer, and he's been with us for 3 seasons, and he's evolved the looks of all the characters, and it's like a huge job because he also has to deal with all the school uniforms of all the extras, and it's a lot, but he just absolutely adores the show, and so we've always just had such an easy dialogue with him. And that extends to, that's just one example.
Do you want to help? You can do it! You're amazing! I love you!
Darcy saying I love you so easily and casually here is the perfect example for Charlie of what it could be like if you pass the hurdle of saying it for the first time. But we also have context for how much it took Darcy to get there, which we didn't have in the comic.
You were scared to say it back because you didn't really believe that I could love you.
You've only ever seen half of my life. I am so in love with you. I'm bad at saying it.
I'm shirtless for a good portion of this season. Yeah, I mean, I had to wax my chest every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Which wasn't particularly fun.
It was fun for everyone else to watch.
It was fun for everyone else to watch. But yeah, it was, I think it was, again, it was a part of the story. It was a part of the kind of dynamic between Nick and Charlie, was that, Nick felt comfortable and sort of confident in himself, and that was just a part of the sort of storyline and arc and dynamic of our 2 characters. So yeah, I mean, it was, when you have to be shirtless, you do sometimes. There was one point where we were in our first week shooting in Lyme Regis on the beach in October, and it was very cold,
freezing,
and you had just about, like, I don't know how many people
there was so many,
sat on the beach just watching us, and I did feel a little bit like, okay, this is interesting. But, as soon as they call cut, throw something on, it's fine.
We have a knack in the show of filming summer scenes when it's not summer and having to pretend that we're all really warm when actually we're freezing.
I did think that because I grew up near Lyme Regis, and I thought
really?
it doesn't look sunny, so that's going to be really fun for them.
Mm.
Yeah, but as I said, I emailed it multiple times and no one got back to me.
Charlie, can you do my back, please? Yeah, sure.
Hair and makeup artist Sorcha Morgan Fisher, who is putting sunscreen on Kit in the video, left this comment under a TikTok repost of the video posted by @just_me_being_. These fireworks and electricity-inspired animations are kind of the show's version of what the fandom dubbed horny sparkles in the comic. Both are there to illustrate the growing sexual tension between Nick and Charlie.
I love you. Oh. Well, thank you. I think it's too early for me to say that. Sorry. Do you have someone?
No, I don't really burn, I just tan.
I kinda thought they would just change this line because show Charlie is pale compared to comic Charlie, but I guess an excuse is an excuse whether it makes sense or not.
You just tan.
Nick, we're going in the sea.
You coming?
Maybe in a bit.
Okay. You got a little bit of
That's
all over.
disgusting.
Actually, you just
Stop it, that's
everyone needs
disgusting.
sunscreen, Charlie.
I wish we could see the alternate take of this that was in all of the articles about them filming on the beach. It looked really funny. This screen recording alerted me to the fact that there was a live webcam on the whole time they were filming, and you could basically see all of the beach scenes being made through it. More on that and how I spent 3 days monitoring and recording that in the addendum.
With the ice cream, with the ice cream, with the ice cream.
It's for my girlfriend. She's over there. Official girlfriend. We've only been dating for like 3 weeks, but it's been a whirlwind.
Not only are you being spectacularly embarrassing, but she can also definitely hear you. What is it with this show and people just saying all kinds of stuff where everyone's in hearing distance?
That's £4.98, please.
Sure.
I always find this thing funny because it's my personal headcanon that they just stuck some colourful paper there to hide an ad. This glass is also all blurred up and we can vaguely see some suspiciously red-labelled cola bottles inside.
Close your eyes. Give me your hand.
What is going... Towel.
See, I got 1, 2, so we're matching. Look, E for L.
This is the sappiest thing you've ever
Okay,
done.
your turn, your turn.
Okay, close your eyes. Open.
A flower!
You got me flowers when you first asked me out.
We're so ridiculous.
I love it!
I want the most romantic summer ever with you before you go to Lambert.
Well, I support that idea.
Your favourite romantic couple on the show besides Nick and Charlie?
Town L. I think they're very cute together.
We love you, Tower now.
What are we playing?
Volleyball?
Volleyball. Okay.
Nick versus the girls. Yeah?
How is that fair?
Yeah, I'll be on Nick's team.
Nick.
But Darcy, girls stick together. I don't care, I hate gender. Oh, we're gonna win it.
Let's do it. Sorry, you start. Yeah?
Obviously, it all credit goes to Adam, our costume designer. But it's really nice that he does go out of his way to ask us like, oh, what are your thoughts? And it does feel collaborative in the moment.
Totally.
And he's really sweet as well. Like, so we have some beach scenes, and Adam will go off the comic, you know, what Alice has originally drawn, and he tries his best, and he does a brilliant job of it, of making sure that those looks are recreated live action. But he also wants to make sure his actors are comfortable in what they're wearing. So he called me and he said, you know, I think in the scenes with the beach, at the beach, Sahar is a bikini. I can't remember it, but he said to me, are you comfortable wearing it? So we had a discussion about that, and she wears. I wore one piece with shorts, you know, because that's what I was comfortable in, but it was still Sahar vibe. Yeah, so he's great. He looks after us really well.
Isaac is reading Genderqueer, a memoir by Maya Kobabe. This is an autobiographical graphic novel about gender identity and sexuality, asexuality being one of the topics. It's been banned in many American libraries, just like Heartstopper.
The lovely costume department had what did they have for us? They had, you know, like hoodies, those really oversized jumpers that are like pajama ones, and we all got our own one, and they weren't character ones, but it was quite sweet because they bought us ones that kind of fit our character. So mine was black and checkered and was really like kind of Sahar's gothic kind of vibe, that kind of vibe. And then I remember Imogen had like a really bright, Rhea, because it wasn't actually for the screen, it was just for us to keep warm. But Rhea had like a really pinky kind of coloured one. Karina had a purple one. So they all kind of fit our characters, even though they weren't for the screen. And that's just the costume department doing their thing again. Adam, he's great.
So the light's got to be put on.
Chris? I'm alright, thanks.
You okay?
No, it was really easy to get back into the character. Like, I've been playing this character for 3.5 years now, so it's very ingrained. And it's such a joy to get to do this job and to hang out with my friends all the time. So it's, yeah, it wasn't difficult to do any of it. I loved it.
You seem kind of stressed out.
I want to tell Nick that I love him.
Charlie, you're already dating him.
Yeah, I know, but I want to say the words I love you. You know I get stressed out of this stuff.
Oh yes, I am very aware. Well, why don't you just sit here staring at him all day instead then?
I'm not staring.
Haven't you already seen him shirtless in the changing rooms?
Yeah, this is an entirely different context.
Right. I don't really get the appeal.
In the comic, Charlie had this conversation with Elle. I think it's really fitting that they changed it to Isaac, because now we have this direct comparison between their respective experiences that makes the scene more interesting.
What, with anyone?
No, not really.
You've never seen someone really attractive and just felt like butterflies?
No. You think I'm immune?
Yeah, well, what I've really loved about Isaac's journey is the way that it kind of has mirrored some other characters in the show. And so, like you say, at the end of last season, he has this kind of big aha moment for himself, and he realizes that he thinks he's aromantic and asexual. But then this season is kind of like a more Nick and Charlie in season 2 arc, where Isaac's now telling everyone, he's telling his friends, just telling his closest people in his life how he's been feeling. And that's also, it can be a very, scary thing. So yeah, this season is more about coming out and embracing his true self, and yeah, living as authentically as he wants to.
Do you think that's do you think you're asexual then?
Isaac I introduced because I wanted there to be an asexual story in Heartstopper, and I couldn't have Alid, who's a character from the comics. He couldn't appear in the show for various complicated reasons due to the fact he's a main character in one of my other books. So I had an opportunity to introduce a completely new character, and that was Isaac. And I knew from the beginning that I wanted him to go on that asexual journey. There isn't really a big asexual story in Heartstopper, at least not until kind of the end of Volume 5 in the comics. So it's something that I'd always wanted to do, but there just wasn't room for in the comics. But obviously there's a lot more room in the show for the supporting characters. And now here we are with Isaac.
Probably.
For Isaac this season, I think it's the challenge of opening up about his identity, which is really, really hard for Ace and Arrow people, because most people don't understand those experiences. They might not even know what those words mean at all. And that's a really, really scary, intimidating thing, even to talk about with your own friends. Just the idea that your friends might not understand you or might think you're a bit weird for using these terms. So yeah, that's the challenge that he kind of faces this season. Because yeah, it's a very isolating experience to know this about yourself, but to feel that people around you might not understand. So yeah.
Quote from Toby Donovan.
It was very important to me that I did the research and put the work in. I spoke to a friend of mine, Yasmin Benoit, a famous asexual activist, and the book that I picked up at the end of season 2 is a fantastic resource for factual information about asexuality. Also for me, all of the info that I really needed was in the scripts, because it's very much Alice's experience of being aromantic and asexual. It really jumped out of the page, which was great. It meant that I could gain understanding from both resources focused on a more brainy academic place, and the scripts gave me the emotional leaps in understanding. We're telling a story that's not been told before, but it's also a story that's really universal. Everyone as a teenager feels different from everyone else, and everyone as a teenager has to come into their own and find their tribe. I think it's very universal.
Probably aromantic too?
Quote from Toby Donovan.
We didn't use the word aromantic too much last year, because I think it must be really overwhelming to discover that you're asexual, and then having that extra layer of being aromantic We didn't want to shove too much revelation on this poor 15-year-old. So this season, we definitely unpack that more. And yeah, I spoke to Alice a lot. I was very grateful that a lot of it is on the page, it is in the scripts for me. So my job is to just kind of show up and do justice to that. I really wanted to make sure that we were starting out on the right foot with telling the story.
I don't really know what that is.
I saw some people say it's weird Charlie can't just deduce what that is from the name, but the split attraction model that is based on the idea that people can have different identities when it comes to sexual attraction and romantic attraction is actually kind of advanced queer theory, and lots of people aren't familiar with it, even if they're queer. This scene serves a purpose in that it highlights how little asexuality and aromanticism are talked about or understood.
That's all right, you can Google it later.
We pick up with Isaac this season after the final episode last season. He's picked up this book called Ace, and it's all about asexuality, and he's kind of finally found the vocabulary for how he's been feeling. He's found the words to describe what he's been going through. And so this season is very much picking up straight after that for Isaac, and he's now trying to use this knowledge that he has about himself now to sort of share that with his friends and have more of an understanding from the people that he loves about what he's been going through. So yeah, this season his journey is kind of about coming out to his friends, and then also like coming to terms with it in himself and really learning to love himself.
You could tell the others, Isaac. They'd be supportive.
No, I know they would be. Honestly, I just can't be bothered to give everyone a vocab lesson.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
The one thing I thought when I first watched Heartstopper, and I've heard it many, many times since, especially from people sort of my age, really, about how they wish they'd had a show like this when they were growing up. You know, just knowing that there are other people out there, that queer people exist, and that queer love is possible, and family life within that sort of relationship is possible, and all those things that you kind of you don't know when you're navigating that as a young person. And hopefully shows like this will make it easier for the next generation coming through, and just how they're able to hopefully accept themselves a bit more easily and a bit quicker, and maybe some of that shame won't exist in the same way like it did for a lot of us.
And if you can say that to me, you can definitely say it to Nick.
That is totally different, and you know it.
For season 3, I would say there was one point where we were all having dinner in Lyme Regis in the first week of shooting, and we basically were chased. We were chased out of a restaurant because
by some like teenagers.
By some teenagers. No, not by anything scary or anything like that. But we were just like
we had a few drinks. We had
a few drinks, and we actually weren't being chased. We just were there outside, and suddenly Will just started running. Will just started bolting it, just because he thought it was funny. Then we were like, oh, I guess we have to follow. And then I think we turned around after like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. We were like, no one chased us. No, there was no one there. But it felt exhilarating.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
Isaac, big boss! Isaac, big boss again! Ah! Everything!
In the Netflix captions it claims it's Isaac who tells them to stop throwing the chips in the next part, but I think that's Nick being the mum friend.
Stop throwing the chips! My mum used to tell me never to talk with my mouth full, but now I can do what I want.
I guess I really wanted to think a lot about myself at 16. I feel like being 16 is the worst thing in the history of the world, and yet somehow everyone does it. And I think I coped in some similar ways, but also some different ways. I remember that like gnawing feeling of being 16, where you feel like you can almost taste independence, and you're pushing all these boundaries. And yeah, I just tried to remember what that felt like. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry.
Hell, Will.
You're not hungry?
Guess I'm a slow eater today.
You could always go somewhere just
Do
us.
you guys want ice lollies, or are you just going to keep flirting?
Busy around being a lover-dubber. Dirty boys.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
There was a point when I got to the end of writing season 3 where I was sort of writing the same scene at the same time in both formats. They collided right at the end, but at the time of writing season 3, I hadn't even planned volume 6. The writing of season 3 was very much the point at which the comics and the show have met. They're at the same point now. It was scary in that sense because normally in previous seasons, I would give the books to all the cast and all the heads of department would all get to read the comic and see what the scenes from the scripts are in the original comics, but I couldn't do that for volume 5 because it literally didn't exist as a book yet.
We're all full up, actually. Sorry.
That's an interesting conflict when it comes to helping someone with an issue like Charlie. At this point, the only way Nick can help is pretty much to help Charlie hide the problem from others, as contradictory as that feels. Drawing attention to it would definitely make Charlie feel worse.
Such a nice day. Do you know how much I love this? Do you actually?
In the comic we got more info about Elle's Egyptian grandparents here. This was also one of the very rare instances of Elle's trans identity being explored in the comics. The comics aren't very focused on the other characters, so the show expanded on Elle's storyline even though we didn't get this scene.
Oh, Tao, you're probably not going to see her for 5 whole minutes.
No, are you going to be okay?
We're having our summer of romance. It's perfectly normal for us to be spending all this time together.
Funny that he understands this now, but not when it was Charlie.
And to be cancelling plans with us to go on dates with her, apparently.
Don't worry, the honeymoon period won't last forever.
It might.
There's good reason why the honeymoon period shouldn't last. You need to be able to focus on other things too.
I forgive you.
How's life living with your girlfriend?
It's good. Options, and it's all just...
Hello?
Yeah.
Quote from Corinna Brown about Tara's hair.
Honestly, for me, it's a huge thing because I remember watching TV and being like, oh my god, my hair ain't gonna do that. These are not styles that I have. So I strive to have the versatility of black hair portrayed in whatever I'm doing. That's in its natural state with extension because black hair is so versatile. And I absolutely love when I get a hair and makeup team like the team that we work with for Heartstopper. The head of that was Deandra Ferreira. She was awesome asking me what I thought. She's got such a great knowledge base. She'd be like, I'm getting braiders specifically for this, which is amazing to see in the TV film industry. Because when I was younger, there'd be situations where I was leaving set, like, you messed up my hair. My mom said, if you take my cornrows out, you gotta put them back in, but you're looking at me like blink, blink. So to think the progression that's happened so far for black people in TV and film with hair and makeup, I think it's so important. And that's why I'll always be like, I don't just want one hairstyle, I want them all. I like to be involved in it because I think it's really important and it's getting better. There's still a way to go, but it is getting better, which is chef's kisses.
She might be moving out soon though. She's been chatting to her gran a bit on the phone and she wants Darcy to live with her. Not that I want Darcy to move out or anything, it's just been a bit, you know, because I love her so much and she is so much safer living with me. So it has to be like this for now.
Quote from Corinna Brown.
Honestly, when I first read it, I was like, this is so important because these are things that no one really talks about, especially in a show for young people, because you do think that you want to take on the world for the person that you love and the people that you love. You want to be spreading yourself so thin. We're also overwhelmed, but some things you can't help with. We're not therapists. When I saw it, I thought it was a great reminder for me as well, and honestly, that was a great, massive takeaway for me this season. Supporting people can also be you saying, I'm not the person to help with this right now, but I suggest you do this or go down this route. I'm here to talk, listen. And obviously, I love you and I'm your friend, but I can't fix it. So I think it's a great lesson for everybody, old or young.
When someone you love's in trouble, you do anything to help them. Anyway, there's that and starting sixth form and thinking about uni options, and it's all just...
Hello?
Yeah. Am I the only one who's stressed about starting sixth form? Tara's very much like an overachiever, and I think she takes everyone else's stress on as well, so it finally gets to her.
Mm-hmm.
She's also having a lot of change, and I think change in general for everyone and anyone is quite a stressful time, and I think this season, it just builds up for her, and she's not quick to talk about it, because she likes to be the helper. She likes to help other people. So I think she bottles it up and allows it to bubble over until eventually she breaks, which is, quite interesting for her, because I think she sees herself as like normally quite level-headed, in control of things. So yeah, it's been fun to play.
I mean, that is really interesting, because she has always been there for sort of everyone else and been really reliable. So to have that become almost too much and be the one to have to be supported is very interesting.
And I think in life, like, I'm quite used to being like the supporter. So it was interesting to play, and then I've learned from her that it's important to like take time for yourself. That's one thing that is Tara's message this season as well.
Can't pour from a glass that's empty.
Exactly.
I don't know, I guess I've just been distracted by other things.
In the comic, Nick had this conversation with Sahar instead, while they were discussing Sahar moving to Truan for 6th form. Tara's academic stress storyline didn't exist in the comics.
There's something I need to talk to Charlie about. There's something serious. It's hard to know how to talk to him about it without making things worse.
You're doing your best.
Yeah, so are you.
This is really similar to the conversation Nick and Tara had in Season 2, Episode 8, when they were both struggling with similar communication challenges in their relationships.
How do you talk to someone about something that they don't want to talk about?
Maybe you just have to try, even if it doesn't work.
These parallels in their journeys have given Tara and Nick a special bond where they just instinctively understand what the other is going through.
Can we go in the sea again, please? Yes, so. Wanna come?
Fine. I didn't even say yes.
Quote from writer Alice Oseman when asked on Discord about what scene was the most difficult to get through.
For me, it was seeing the cast have to go in the sea when it was a cloudy 17 degrees Celsius day. I felt genuinely terrible. It's also always difficult when we're running low on time on a day and everyone has to rush to get a scene done. Those are the moments I feel most anxious on set.
I love you.
Another parallel to when Nick first looked at Tara and Darcy as aspirational in Season 1, Episode 3. I greatly appreciate that they kept the donut floaty from the comic.
Come on the sea with me.
If you could choose a season that identifies with your character, what would you say?
Autumn.
Because what?
He's ginger.
Ah, I love that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You saying you're ginger, Kit? You admit?
No, but everyone thinks he is, so that'll do it. That'll do it.
Now you're putting it out there that he is. Everyone's gonna confirmation.
So, you have to understand, they put a very golden sort of sheen on all the footage, so it makes me look particularly ginger at times. This season especially, there's a very, I would personally say I'm more of an auburn, a sort of reddy brown.
Yeah.
But you know, people can believe whatever they want to.
Right. You can identify as reddy brown if that's what you want.
If they want to believe that I'm ginger, then that's great. If they want to believe that I'm auburn, that's great. If you think I'm blonde, then
right.
Then you're probably wrong, but that's all right.
I really don't want to take my shirt off.
Okay, we'll keep it on. We'll dry in the sun.
These towels look familiar. Quote from actor Jonathan Becker.
It was such an amazing experience being Charlie's body double in episode 1 of the new season when filming in Lyme Regis. I remember watching season 2 and hoping to be in the next season, and it actually somehow became a reality.
Quote from actor Christian Jones.
Doubling Kit Connor? Completed it. This little job was a fantastic time that led to so many great opportunities and to so many great people. Without the cast and crew, this would have been just another job. So thanks to everyone who made it special. See you next season.
If you still don't know for some unfathomable reason, we're getting a movie instead of season 4 to complete the series.
I wish it was a little bit older, actually. Really?
No, Nick, I swear, no, please don't. Okay. No.
Where should I put you? Where should I put you? Ready?
No! Alright. No!
I'm good at holding things and holding people, and that's what I do. So, yeah, there's a lot. I think because I was basically threatening to drop him, and it's because he was giving me a bit too much attitude on that day, and it was the last day, and I just felt like I could really, I could drop you in the sea right now, and they're not going to fire me. It's the last day, so. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was at moments taxing this season. It was, just a lot of big things like physically that were kind of happening as we kind of discovered a lot of shooting summery scenes in the winter, and that can take a toll on the body at times. But yeah. I think so there were points where we were knackered and just a bit sort of going through the motions at times. Yeah, we started in about October, and finished in December.
I hate you.
I was okay. We did some stuff this year. Joe in particular shot some stuff like in the beach. Like we were on the beach and he was in the sea in like October, November, and he's actively shivering, so they had to go back and reshoot some of it on green screen because his like jaw was going and it was so cold.
I need to talk to you about something. Yeah, I do too.
He definitely thought they were more along the same lines here.
You go first.
No, you.
I can't say it first, now you said that.
I think you have an eating disorder. I've been doing some research, and I know you don't want me to try and fix you or anything. I just care about you so much, and I can see how much worse it's been getting recently. I'm just trying.
I don't think I do.
The scene is different in the book. In the comic, Charlie never denies it, even if he's hesitant about the label. I think it makes sense that Charlie would immediately be in denial about it, especially since he's trying to hide and minimize it.
I know that I've got some issues. I don't think they're that bad.
In the comic, Charlie also mentions that eating disorders are seen as a girl thing. This scene went a different way because Charlie shuts the topic down in this version, so we actually never address this directly in the show. The following scene where they discuss talking to Charlie's parents has been altered from its original webcomic form, and Charlie seems more somber in the print version. I think the edited version is better because it feels more realistic that Charlie wouldn't be so immediately assured in this situation. Quote from writer Alice Oseman.
People face so many struggles in their everyday lives, discrimination and figuring out who you are, and that can all contribute to an increased chance of having a mental illness of any kind. But eating disorders are very common in men, and especially in young men, and are actually more common in queer people. We don't see as much of that on TV or in films. Eating disorders are still seen as a primarily female mental illness, which is obviously not true at all. Charlie is hopefully a bit of representation for the many young queer men out there who do have eating disorders and are struggling with that every day.
You sure? Yeah, I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me.
Are you angry at me?
No.
Is that what you wanted to talk about as well?
Is this the face of someone who wanted to talk about that? Come on, Nick.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned the soundtrack there, but this time I'm making a whole separate series of videos just about the music in the series after this main series, so I'm saving almost all mentions about the music for those later. We all know how Kit felt about committing that crime.
It's really quite offensive, the fact that he's walked into Charlie's room with his shoes on, soaking wet. He's just
Sat down on the bed.
Sat down on the bed. I mean, he's the real villain of the story.
Should we go into Nick's room? I love that it's like an attic room. That's like a vibe. I always wanted to have an attic bedroom when I was growing up. We didn't have an attic, so... I'm gonna get into bed. I'm just on Instagram. Just don't mind me.
Hi. Hello. You made yourself at home, haven't you?
Hi.
We spent 8 hours in this bed on Friday.
The headboard's a bit too low.
I think David's stolen my goggles.
Can't believe you're leaving me for 3 whole weeks. You'll be in Menorca and I'll be stuck here.
If you're going to ask if you can come on our Menorca holiday this year, the answer's no, because I've already booked the ticket.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Gonna be the longest you've spent apart since we first met.
3 weeks does feel like an excessively long time for a family vacation.
Oh, are you gonna miss me? Maybe a little bit. A little bit. It's very, very rude.
You know I'm gonna miss you a lot.
I am gonna go and have a shower, because I've got sand everywhere. Movie after?
Only if it's not Marvel.
I know the Marvel lines were already a part of the show and of Alice's book. But watching this season, I gasped while Charlie was trying to run away from Marvel. For you, Joe, how was it to say that line and knowing that you are a part of the MCU now?
It was great fun. My agent always laughs about like putting that in my show reel and then cutting to a clip of Agatha when it comes out.
The edits are going crazy, definitely.
Yeah.
While doing the table read and shooting, how was the reaction of the cast and crew around? Did you talk to Alice about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was in season 2 there's one as well, and I think we ended up shooting that scene like the day or two after I found out I got the part, so it was very like no one knew. I was actually really bad at keeping the secret, everyone knew, but
I did warn you I'm not a fan of Marvel movies.
There were 2 moments where, firstly, Marvel was referenced.
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
actually in the comics. So it's
it?
really weird. It is really weird because I remember reading the comic books ages ago and reading it, and it's like, oh, I'm not a fan of Marvel, and Charlie's character said it, and it's just so funny that Joe is now in Marvel. It just makes it. It's kind of. It feels like it's like one of those Easter eggs, but it seriously like was written in the comics.
Literally, like Nick's aunt is also in Marvel as well.
Captain Carter.
Yes. Forgot you have no taste.
I feel good when I see Nick because I know he's going to come in and say the right thing. In season 3, does he maintain his...
He turns into a right, for lack of a better word, meanie. You know, he's the same as he always is. He's always an absolute angel. I think it's a very lovely character to play because he's just kind of lovely and he's nice and just it's easy to kind of play a nice person sometimes because you can just be nice to people and it's very simple really. Anyone could do it.
Maybe you should try living with your gran. You might have more space if you lived with her.
I don't need more space.
I think I'm really proud of one of the first scenes you see, which is the scene where Tara asks Darcy to leave. I really enjoyed working on that scene with Karina. She's just so good to work with. I felt like my heart was breaking. I felt like I was getting like broken up with. I don't know. She's such a talented actress, and it's my favorite.
I live with my dream girlfriend.
I sometimes find her too immature, and it irritates me. I know she's 16, bless her. But sometimes I just want to shake her and be like, you know what the right thing to do is here. Don't do what you're doing. I am irritated by her relationship with her mum, and how reckless she can be. But that's me being irritated with her as a character because I love her so much. I just want her to do what's best for herself.
I love you so, so, so much. And I love being near you. I love waking up with you, and I love spending every day with you. But I think we need some personal space too. Oh, I think I'm excited to see, for them to see how Tara and Darcy navigate uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Because I think there is one that I don't know if I can say right
Yeah.
now, that could be deemed horrible or not nice.
I do know what you're talking about.
But I think they're very good at having mature, uncomfortable conversations.
I know.
But because they love each other, finding a happy way, the right way through it.
Yeah.
So I think that would be, I'm excited for people to see that.
They make a lot of good decisions.
Mm.
And I don't know, I feel like they've grown up so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I just love that the love's still there.
Yeah, it's true.
I need some personal space.
If you really don't want to, then it's fine. But she seems nice, and
maybe you could just try it because it's okay.
It's okay.
And for Tara and Darcy, who are like the longest couple of all of the couples, they, again, they're kind of each going through their own thing, and it's kind of similar to Nick and Charlie, really. They are each going through their own thing, but they know that they're always going to be there for each other, but that doesn't again necessarily fix everything. So yeah, and things change. I think just thinking about Darcy's story, they're still growing as people, as teenagers, and they're learning new things about themselves, and there's maybe some worries about the other person not understanding them or not really being able to open up about those struggles, but as soon as they do, things kind of feel better for both of them. So yeah, communication, I guess.
I'll try it. I'll call her.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love Tara and Darcy's relationship. I love all of the characters, right? Don't get me wrong, but there's something so beautiful about their relationship, and especially in this season, I love that scene again because this season's so much more mature, and we learn so many lessons about like being our own people as well. So that scene between Tara and Darcy, where Tara says to Darcy, you know, I need some personal space. It's handled with such care and such love. And I think that's such an important lesson for our audience to take. You know, you have to be there for people and you have to support people, but you need to take time for yourself as well. So don't. Yeah, I think that's such a. So I just love their whole dynamic, Tara and Darcy's dynamic. I love all of them. I love all of them. I can't pick a character, but I'd love to see where they go and how they navigate. You know, Tara navigates uni life and her relationship with Darcy, and yeah, I would love to see that.
I love you too. I know this summer's been a lot. Thank you for everything.
Oh, are you sure you don't need any help?
No, I can do it. I'm making dinner for my girlfriend. Thank you, Mom.
I've already tried to help, but he's too stubborn.
Okay, we can just order pizza.
No, I promised you a summer of romance. I'm going to have a romantic candlelit dinner.
So we can have a romantic candlelit Domino's.
Surely you can still order something a bit more romantic than pizza, no?
It's just, I want everything to be perfect this summer. Everything's going to change when you go to Lambert. We've only got 3 weeks left together. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I don't want to lose you.
How? Can you just calm down for a second? Nothing's going to change, okay? You don't have to be constantly trying to impress me. I'm not going to dump you because you're a terrible girl.
I wouldn't say terrible. Maybe not my strongest skill, but...
Can you let me sort out a romantic candlelit dinner? Let me treat you this time.
Meanwhile...
The pictures on the wall are very accurate to the comic.
Did you guys kiss? I hadn't. We just a couple little pecks.
Seriously, I kissed so much this season that I got like a really bad, like, it was like a spot that turned into, it was horrible.
It got to a point where we had to shave twice a day.
Some of it out because I can't notice it as much as when we were filming it. It was like this massive.
It was a volcano on his chin.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was.
And then we had to keep kissing, and then it would get worse and worse.
Yeah, because we both obviously had a bit of stubble, and it would just
And I was so run down. Me and kept kissing so much that I had this like kissing rash scab on my chin, and they had to spend like a lot of money to VFX out this. And I've still got a scar from it, like because every time they'd have to put makeup over it every day, so it was never healing.
A kiss injury?
Yeah, like because he had like stubble, and so it rashed on my chin, and we were kissing like all day every day.
Talk about Reddit. They're gonna lose it.
And it was like the most like horrible looking, like literally like a scab on my chin. It was
Oh
gross.
my God.
But if you look at it's like all the Charlie's House scenes in season 3, my chin is just slightly really smooth.
Oh,
because they've just like
they're
smoothed
like,
out this
can we
like
go in and smooth in,
the
Joe?
VFX.
They're like the budget is like wardrobe, location, scab removal.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
Kissing scab.
Yeah. I am Mariah's short-circuiting. We were kissing so much. We were kissing all day, every day. I had a scab. Oh, the Tumblr kids gonna be... They gonna eat.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say Nelly, the dog, because how easy is it to just be that gorgeous and to just get stroked all the time?
Yeah.
And
Just have a fun time.
Yeah, I'd say Nelly.
I'm not nervous. No. Stop it. Stop it.
Right, Cal.
Nick?
Yeah?
My mum said I have to go home.
Oh, okay. I was looking forward to the sort of shower scene in season 3.
Just wants to get his top off.
Just wanted to get my top off, yeah. Just remembered the sand everywhere. Like, I looked forward to that because it was, you know, just a really iconic and beautiful moment in the comics, and I was just thought, this was, you know, they weren't like the most pleasant scenes to shoot because it was very cold and things, but
I think what's good about it is going into it before we even get the scripts, you sort of roughly know what's going to happen in the next season.
I think they came out really beautifully, so that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Just give me 2 minutes, I can walk you home.
No, it's fine. I just, you know, when we were in the sea.
And do you ever go through a script and go, right, this is a bit that I need to be there? And when you speak to the director, they're kind of shocked.
Yeah, I think, I wouldn't say like shocked, but I'd say, oh, we missed that one. I didn't even think about that. Of course, yeah, like, you know, what? It's a good question. What are they going to be wearing when they're getting out of bed? Or, you know, how am I going to shoot this shower moment? Oh, actually, I'm just going to be on a close-up of their face, so actually they could be wearing a bathing suit or whatever they feel comfortable with. But it's about getting that information from them, so now I can then talk to the actors and be like, hey, this is what we're thinking, like, what's your thoughts? Have you got any questions or concerns about that? Do you want to talk about that scene in more detail? So yeah, like those things can pop up, and sometimes they find some stuff and I'm like, yeah, okay, great, I didn't even see that. So it's just making sure it is happening and the actors feel equipped on the day.
Yeah.
I lied.
What do you mean?
When you asked me whether the eating thing was what I wanted to talk to you about, that wasn't what I was actually going to talk to you about. I was actually going to say that I love you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's in the comics.
Yeah, it's in the comics.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
so we had done a bit of research.
That's a good thing about Heartstopper is we sort of know what's going to happen next because it's already there.
So how long is Nick's unbelievably long pause before reacting here?
I love you. Anyway, I can walk myself home. Bye. Wait!
Also, there's the shower scene where I have to fall over, and then I actually did fall over.
Oh, bless.
The first time, and they used it. Yeah. Which it's sort of, it kind of doesn't look that great, but I think I think I probably faked it slightly better at times. But I appreciate the fact that they used the real one because it felt good in the moment. Yeah. just foot slipped and was gone.
Less bone-breaking and concussion-inducing than the comic version. So why did he take so long to react? Sure, it's an exaggeratedly long pause for drama, but he's recalibrating their whole talk in the scene in his head, realizing that he ruined the first I love you moment by saying what was on his mind first.
Oh, no. Charlie, hang on. Charlie.
Oh, Claude.
R.I.P. to Sarah's POV of this event. Charlie had a backpack, a new one I might add, but he didn't take it with him when he left.
Idiot. Such an idiot.
Charlie!
For this current season, was there a scene or a moment where you had some stress or anxiety around, you wanted it to be absolutely perfect, there was kind of that build up, and then you shot it and we're like, oh my gosh, we did it?
I mean, I'm thinking of the moments where in the comic something really lovely and magical happens, like Nick's out of the shower and then he runs after Charlie into the street barefoot and chases after him to say, I love you back, which when you're actually filming that with like real people, there's all these things like he's not got his shoes on, so running that fast is going to be like really painful. And then it's cold because it's the night, like all of these things that in the comic, like
doesn't matter
at all when you're drawing it, but then actually you get there and it's like, poor Kit and Joe are like putting them through it, We've always made them going in the sea.
Oh, going in the sea, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. That was a nightmare in every conceivable level.
Yeah. So when you get that level of performance from them, despite those kind of like, you know, just human things that you have to take into account when you're filming, that's always a relief when it's in the can.
Charlie! Oh. Hi.
Quote from director Andy Newbery.
It was always more than just a lamppost, and finding somewhere that felt right, looked right, and reflected Alice's vision for the graphic novels and worked practically meant we saw quite a few places. But this one always had it.
You said it when I was in the shower. Sorry. No S-word. Okay. Alright, can you say what you said again, please? It's embarrassing.
Charlie and Nick's declaration of love to each other was like as iconic as season 1's like Kiss in the Rain. What was it like filming that?
Very cold. Very cold.
And you had no shoes on.
I had no shoes on, which was also quite cold.
I feel like you always get the rough end of it. It was the wetsuit last time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't wearing a wetsuit. That happens again this season as well. Yeah, he always gets a wetsuit.
You choose not to take the wetsuit. That's the.
I had no shirt on this
that's
time.
True. Yeah,
I
too far.
couldn't wear a wetsuit.
Okay.
And some skimpy shorts, so it wasn't like a sort of wasn't as much of an option. But yeah, they gave me these weird things that you like put on under your feet, sort of this sticky sort of sandpapery thing that you can makes it slightly easier to walk and run on gravel. So it was you know, it's a really lovely scene and it's a really beautiful sort of moment.
Yeah.
So I think we enjoyed it.
I love you.
I think I'm really proud of the moment at the end of Act 1, the I love you moment, because that was one in the comic where I was like that's so cute, and then like it just looks so cinematic, and I was always conscious of how that was executed in the adaptation. And every time I watch it, I've seen it so many times now, but even and seeing it on this big screen, they're so gorgeous in the way they perform that, and like the way it's shot is so beautiful. So that always makes me pleased.
And you don't have to say it back. I just wanted to tell you because you're going away and I won't see you for a few weeks.
I love you too. I love you so much.
You're not just saying that because I said it, are you?
Charlie. Come here, you idiot.
What was it like for you, Kit, kind of filming that scene, and how many takes did that take, considering you are shoeless and it's dark and you are wet and cold, etc., etc.?
It took a good few takes. We shot a lot of coverage for it, actually.
Yeah,
There was a big like crane sort of wide shot, and it was pretty chilly, but it was a lovely scene, and I sometimes like getting kind of sprayed down, getting a bit of a absolutely massive fan. Yeah, but Sorcha, my lovely hair and makeup artist, was very good at just like sort of just spraying me down with water, and so I kind of enjoyed it, and it's a lovely scene, a really lovely season to shoot.
You're still damp.
You're the one who said I love you for the first time when I was in the shower.
Oh, why did I do that? Why are we like this?
Now, it hasn't been confirmed anywhere, but the fans have theorized that Joe hates this line and finds it cringe, and that's why Kit picked it as his buzzer noise when they did the Joe vs. Kit parts of the official Heartstopper podcast. Disclaimer, being embarrassed about some lines doesn't mean an actor dislikes the project, by the way.
I'm going to ask you each to come up with a buzzer sound. Kit, your sound, please.
Why are we like this?
Okay, that is your buzzer sound. Question number 1.
Haunts you, my dreams.
Finish.
Season 3 is, I mean, it's definitely, we always describe the show as sort of growing up with the characters. They're a bit older now, so the content is a bit more grown up, and the issues we deal with are more grown up, but it's still Heartstopper, so it's still going to be nice and sweet, and there's going to be lots of good cringe.
Because you're Charlie, and you love me, and I love you. Can I walk you home now?
You're not even wearing a shirt.
I thought you liked it. I saw you peeping at me on the beach.
I was not peeping.
It's okay, it's allowed. We're in love.
Oh my god.
So in love that you're going to walk to my house with no shoes on.
I'm actually surprised they didn't let him just quickly slip on some flip-flops for the show version of this. I don't think it would have taken away from the scene at all.
Yeah, that's how in love I am. I think you'd do the same for me.
Yeah, I would.
So how many times did they say the word love in this love-themed episode called Love?
I love you. I'm in love with you. I'm properly in love with you.
Stop declaring your love so loudly then.
I don't want him to have to say the awkward I love you too.
I love you.
I love you.
I love it!
I want to tell Nick that I love him. I want to say the words I love you. I love you. I love you too.
You know how much I love this?
Love her so much. And someone you love's in trouble.
I'm so lucky that I love you.
I love you. And I love being near you. I love waking up with you. And I love spending every day with you. I love you too.
Love you.
Love you too, Mom.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too. I love you so much. You're the one who said I love you for the first time when I was in the shower. And you love me, and I love you. We're in love.
So in love that you're going to walk to my house with no shoes on.
That's how in love I am.
And last of all, Joe, why should we all watch Heartstopper Season 3 on Netflix?
Because everyone loves sad and then horny teenagers.
And now if you're not bored of it, here's even more footage from the beach. Good lord, there's so much. This video is so long. I swear this is the only one where I have this much stuff for just one episode. This is some exclusive footage from the Lyme Regis webcam that I screen recorded myself while they were filming this, October 2nd to October 5th. Although I didn't know about this webcam on the first day, so this is only from the second day forward. This video has been unlisted on the Heartstopper Season 3 playlist for sources. It's only been accessible for members of my Patreon thus far, but it's like 3 hours of just intermittent live footage of them filming. You can't see much because it's from so far away, but, you know, I did record all of that and I did archive it all on this channel, so it's there if you want to watch this for hours. I haven't even watched the full thing because it's 3 hours. At least I have the time lapses in the beginning. I've sped them up a lot for this, but I have the time lapses in full in that video if you want to check it out. It's in the sources playlist.
Jazz has gone the shop with
Oh, what's up? I definitely had a coat this morning.
Oh my god.
Did you translate the Cheel?
Benji.
Oh, sorry, Benji. See? There she goes. Here we go.
Sim.
And that is officially the end of this absolute monster of an episode. I'm sorry it took me so much longer than intended to get here, but this Season 3 project has been quite literally twice the size of Season 2, which was more than twice the size of Season 1, and I tried to acquire a little bit of a life at some point, so I couldn't dedicate all of my time to working on this. At points it seemed like I would never be able to finish even the first episode because it's the biggest and hardest, but it's finally here and the rest will follow. As mentioned before, there will also be a full series about the soundtrack after the main episodes. This time around, members of my Patreon are getting the episodes a bit early, so if you don't want to wait for the next one, it should be up on the Patreon on the $3 tier right now. It's lovely to be back and finally get this Season 3 project out there since I've been working on it even before the season was out. Thanks for sticking with me, watching and liking videos and subscribing, and extra gratitude to those of you supporting me on Patreon.